Today we're going to do a fun activity that's going to let you get to know your employees better, or your coworkers, and maybe even yourself. So first I'm going to need to explain to you the different categories. There are 4. So the first one is fear. Everyone is motivated by fear just a little bit. If they weren't, you probably wouldn't come to work every day because you'd have no fear of failing or fear of being homeless or anything like that. So everyone, no matter what they say, is a little bit motivated by this. And so an example of fear might be, if I no call, no show today, I might get fired. And that's a very real fear, and that would be something that would motivate you to go to work, or at least call in sick if you're sick and not show up. Next is pride. And this is somebody that does a good job because they enjoy the feeling of doing a good job. It makes them proud to do good work. So this could be someone too that is just like, they're physically not capable of putting out something that they would not be proud of. They really hold their work to a high esteem. And so an example of this would be, I enjoy working in this position because of the sense of pride that I get when customers walk away happy. Now greed, it's not necessarily a bad thing, so don't think of it in that way. Greed is a little bit like you're a little bit motivated by money. An example of this could be, I want my family to have a big house and to be able to pay for my children's college education. This is an example of a motivation by greed that isn't selfish. You're trying to provide for your family, so you want money to be able to do that. So it's not necessarily a selfish thing, so don't necessarily think of the negative connotations to it, but it's pretty much just being motivated by money. Someone who's motivated by respect really goes the extra mile for a manager that they really respect. They might do more for that person than they would normally do for any other person, just because they respect them. So they might have respected what they've accomplished, or they might admire them, and so this really drives them to do really good work. So to do this activity, you're going to need 2 separate sheets of paper. One piece of paper will be what you would describe as yourself, and the other piece of paper will be your best guess of what your manager or employee would be described as. And so you'll write each of the 4 categories on there, which again are fear, pride, greed, and respect, and then you're gonna assign percentages for how you think they're motivated in each category. So on the next slide, I'm going to give you an example of what that looks like. So here's an example of what your completed worksheet might look like, or the 2 slips of paper separately. So for me, I would say, okay, well, I'm pretty evenly tied between pride and respect. I think, there's a little bit of greed. Everybody, needs to make a living, and you do want to take care of your family and have enough to live. And then everybody's a little bit driven by fear, so you can't, leave that blank. Or if you do, good for you, but we don't believe you. And then this would be like a best guess of a manager example. Maybe they're 5% fear, 30% pride, 40% greed, and 25% respect. And so this is just your best guess of what you think your manager or employee is. So after you're done completing both of these slips of paper, you're going to compare them with your manager or employee and your partner in the situation, basically. And you're going to look at, where are we aligned on things that I had right about you? Where are things that I perceived different about you that I didn't know? And so you're going to kind of compare those, and I developed that motivation activity 1 worksheet. That's going to help lead you through different questions that are going to make you think about it. And then hopefully by the end of the activity, you'll all know each other a little bit better.